Synthetic dyes were first developed in the mid-19th century, revolutionizing the textile industry by allowing the mass production of previously rare colors and shorter dyeing times. These dyes were adopted quickly, reducing demand for natural dyestuffs. In the 20th century, the discovery of azo dyes, the largest class of synthetic colorants, enabled the creation of unlimited shades and hues. However, environmental and health concerns emerged around the use of these industrial dyes. Since the 1970s, there has been a growing movement toward developing more sustainable dyestuffs derived from renewable plant sources, as well as low-impact industrial dyeing processes. Today, innovative techniques include the application of nanotechnology, enzymatic dyeing and plasma treatment. Amidst all these advancements, traditional natural dyeing techniques have endured. Many artisans continue to produce hand-dyed textiles using age-old methods with dyestuffs sourced from local flora. The diversity of color, history of craft and cultural meaning imbued in naturally dyed fabrics continue to captivate consumers. As textile dyeing continues to evolve, a balance will hopefully be struck between innovative practices and time-honored traditions. Dyeing fabrics is an ancient art that dates back to the earliest civilizations. From ancient Egypt to medieval Europe, people have been using natural dyes to color fabrics for thousands of years. Over time, the techniques and materials used for dyeing fabrics have evolved, and today there are a wide variety of synthetic dyes and techniques available. Here is a brief history of the development of traditional fabric dyeing techniques from ancient times to the modern era. The earliest known examples of fabric dyeing come from ancient Egypt, where mummies have been found wrapped in dyed linen shrouds. The Egyptians used natural dyes made from plants, such as indigo, henna, and safflower, to color their fabrics. They also used mordants, such as alum and tannin, to help the dyes adhere to the fabric. In medieval times, fabric dyeing became a highly skilled art, and guilds were formed to regulate the industry. Natural dyes continued to be used, but new techniques were developed, such as resist dyeing, where parts of the fabric are protected from the dye by a resist material, creating intricate patterns and designs. During the Industrial Revolution, synthetic dyes were developed, which could be produced on a large scale and were more consistent in color than natural dyes. Synthetic dyes quickly became popular, and by the early 20th century, they had largely replaced natural dyes in the textile industry. In the mid-20th century, concerns about the environmental impact of synthetic dyes led to a renewed interest in natural dyes and traditional dyeing techniques. Today, natural dyes are once again being used to color fabrics, and traditional techniques such as shibari and batik are being rediscovered and adapted for modern use. Shibari is a Japanese technique that involves folding, twisting, and binding fabric before dyeing it, creating unique patterns and designs. Batik is a technique that originated in Indonesia, where wax is applied to fabric before dyeing, creating a resist that prevents the dye from penetrating the fabric in certain areas. In recent years, there has been a growing interest in sustainable and eco-friendly fabric dyeing techniques, such as using natural dyes made from plants and using low-impact dyes that are less harmful to the environment. These techniques are not only better for the environment, but they also help to preserve traditional dyeing techniques that support local artisans and communities. In conclusion, The history of fabric dyeing is a long and rich one, spanning thousands of years and countless civilizations.